The Crow Wicked Prayer is definitely the black sheep of the Crow series, and yes, that includes the released into theaters with the ending missing, The Crow City of Angels. It's so unlike the first three movies that it almost seems like instead of watching a film, I was watching a TV show called The Crow that was in maybe its sixth or seventh season. None of the original creators are on board anymore, and the people running the show have no idea why it appealed to anybody in the first place, so they just start throwing random shit at the wall to see what sticks. Unfortunately for this film, none of it does. Wicked Prayer is purported to be based on a novel of the same name, which was itself based off of the Crow comics. That being said, I'm also to understand that this movie bears little in resemblance to its source material, and in my opinion it bears little in resemblance to The Crow, other than the most basic bare-bones things. We start with on-screen exposition about a fight between some Native Americans who want to close down a mine and build a casino, and they're further justified by the mine being toxic and very bad on the local environment, but the miners just don't want to be out of jobs. This has almost nothing to do with the plot of the movie. Every once in a while they mention the mine or the casino, but if all the references to both the mine and the casino were taken out of the film, it wouldn't really affect the plot at all, since the main plot has nothing to do with the mine or the casino. That Netflix description that I got on this one, it promised me a gang of satanic bikers. Well, there is a gang, and they are satanic, but they drive cars, not bikes, and only in like one scene anyway. So it's clear, whoever put this together, the promotions for this film just didn't give a shit. Anyway, these four bikers, or car riders, I don't know what the hell you call them, they've named themselves after the four horsemen of the apocalypse and claim to want to become what they are in the Bible, something really bad that pisses God off or something. I guess they also didn't do their research, since I'm pretty sure the four horsemen are on God's side, not Satan's side. The main guy, Death, or Luke as he's called, is played by David Boreanaz. There's actually some more star power splattered throughout. Dennis Hopper plays a satanic priest who is also a biker, and I think they also told him that he's a black guy. I mean, I think they told Dennis Hopper that when he was hopped up on peyote and then filmed him. I don't think he did any actual acting in this movie. Macy Gray has a cameo as a hooker. Tara Reid plays Luke's girlfriend, and if you put their last names together, or the last names of their characters, you get Crash and Burn, which is stupid and silly and stupid. And Danny Trejo plays a Native American guy who's the leader of a tribal council. Oh, and this movie refers to the main character as the Crow, as in he's the Crow. I'm pretty sure that the Crow is the bird, and the guy's name is Jimmy Cuervo, but at this point they stopped caring. Jimmy's in love with a girl who is Danny Trejo's daughter, and her brother is a cop or something, and nobody likes Jimmy because he's a convict, and apparently nobody can let go of whatever it is that he did in the past. They never really spell it out. Anyway, the four dickholes of the apocalypse come along, and they kill Jimmy and the girl because reasons. We find out that Jimmy used to be part of the gang, but they never make it clear why they're killing him, other than that they're shitheads. Anyway, Jimmy comes back to life, puts on some face paint, and proceeds to be the worst hero in a Crow movie ever. Seriously, he is consistently getting his ass kicked. He loses his power faster than any other Crow zombie guy that I've ever seen, because the actual Crow, as in the bird, gets hit by a tomahawk after Jimmy has only killed 2 of the 4 idiots that he's supposed to kill. And I'm not counting Tara Reid's character, because she actually freaking survives, which is messed up, since she had just as much a hand in their deaths as any of the others, and the series has never given chicks a pass before. Luke's main goal is to finish a spell that literally makes him Satan, at which point David Boreanaz destroys all restraint he had previously and goes into full-on Dennis Hopper and peyote mode for the rest of the movie. Danny Trejo takes his shirt off and jiggles his man-tits around and heals the bird somehow. That gives Jimmy his powers back, and then him and Satan jump around and kick each other until it ends. This movie is mind-destroyingly stupid. It veers awfully close to so bad it's good territory, and that usually eludes me because I don't enjoy bad movies, but this movie is so bad that it's almost comical. Almost. Anyway, the one good thing is Edward Furlong's performance as Jimmy, though he seems to be doing mostly an impression of Eric Mabius' performance in The Crow Salvation. He has a few good moments, but for the most part, this movie is for the birds. And not cool birds like a crow, but like asshole birds, like a pigeon. The entire thing strikes me as a bad impression of a Robert Rodriguez movie, but without Robert Rodriguez or a budget. They even screwed up the soundtrack. They didn't seem to want to spring for any licensed alternative rock songs this time, so we just get a vaguely Native American sounding score, which is probably public domain stuff. The fight scenes are ridiculous and unconvincing. You know, I can go on for a while, but I'm just going to give it a score. And I'm going to give it a score that, well, actually, this is probably really generous. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10.